Hello all, and welcome to another lecture in the How to Summarize course. This is your instructor, Cody Wyman. In this brief lecture, we're going to go over reading a story in great detail. That's the first point that was discussed in the last lecture. If you go back to lecture, the last one, you will see that reading a story, picking out the details, is the first of many of the steps on how to summarize a story and how to really get the gist of what's going on in a story. So, reading a story requires your full attention. Read slow at first, there's the key, then pick up as the story goes on. So, you're going to read it a couple of times. Sometimes this takes 2 times, this sometimes takes 3, 4 times, 5 times, however many times it gets you to comprehend what's going on in the story, because what we want to do with this step is we want to make sure that you're getting all the details, the full picture of what the story is before you start to summarize it. So read slow the first time, then when you read it a second time, read it a little bit faster, and by the time the third time comes around, if there is a third time, you're going to be reading a little bit quicker. And this 3-point strategy allows you to pick up details that you missed during the first read through. Oftentimes, when you read it a second time and a third time, more details come to light than first glance. Okay? On your second or third time, you take notes as you read to hand out points of summary or plot. So this is the time where you start with a piece of paper or with papers next to you and a pen or pencil or your computer. You sit down and you go through the story. And as you go through the story, you take notes on it. You jot down important details because your mind will forget at a certain point. Your mind will forget what is going on, and you have to have the notes as bullet points to reprogram your mind around the story so that it doesn't forget what happened. Because our brains are full of distractions, and sometimes we need anchors to help us out. So, you take notes as you read to hand out points of the summary or plot. The last thing is you take note of all the characters in the story. You do this by jotting down their names, where they live, what they're doing, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and so on. And you kind of give a brief picture on all the characters in the story and who they are and what they do. So that is it for this lecture. The next lecture goes into further detail on this and more. If you have any questions, if you can please put them in the Q&A, and I will talk to you in the next video.